should be back.
Are we back?
You know, I have it on good authority that despite the fact that I don't know who the final gym leader is, I do know that it is back o'clock.
Well, that's good. What happened to your Pokemon?
What about?
Look at OBS.
Oh, yeah. That's a good question. Let's try that.
There they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are back. Welcome back, everybody.
Yeah, it's good to be here. We are at the final gym. The Viridian City Gym.
Nathan.
Yeah?
You know what would be really weird?
What?
Would happen right now?
What?
If some random voice just started talking.
Yeah! It is a good day.
Is it?
Yeah.
I just threw that softball.
Really happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just threw that softball up to Rusty and let him do what he wanted with it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, welcome back. This is our Pokemon Red established Nuzlocke.
yeah.
And I sure did say a funny word there, Ian. Can you tell me what a Nuzlocke is?
It's when especially with this run, it's when you don't stab things.
No, Ian. That's not what a Nuzlocke is. You're wrong.
I also pretty sure we've used that one before.
Possibly.
But I guess if that's wrong, I guess a Nuzlocke is a challenge that consists of two main rules.
Yep.
If I had to take a crack at maybe what one of those rules are, I don't know. You can only catch the first thing you encounter in any given area, city, route, cave, whatever.
That's right.
Well, if you see, Ian, you identified the wrong word. The strange word that Nathan said was red. Red is one of the primary colors, along with yellow and blue. So
right now, I'm holding a red cup.
Yeah.
There is red on my shirt. I don't know what else in screen is red. I don't know, a little bit of red on Venusaur. Yeah, that's a weird thing. Continue.
Ian?
Yeah.
There is no red on Venusaur.
In the sprite right there. Mother.
Oh, in
Motherfucker! You wanna tell me that again?
on the
On your cool tracker brought to us by patreon.com/Pokalink.
Good save.
You don't think I can't turn this into a product? A product plug? You bet your ass I can.
Good job. Rusty, can you tell us the second rule of a Nuzlocke?
Celebrate the small victories and the big ones.
Well, that's important to do, Rusty. That's wrong. It's not the second rule of a Nuzlocke.
Oh.
As it turns out, the second rule of a Nuzlocke is that if a Pokemon faints, it's considered dead, and you can't use it anymore.
So that stacks with the first rule that I talked about, which is you can only catch a certain amount of Pokemon.
Yep.
So, wow, that like makes it a challenge run.
This is, in fact, a challenge run.
You could even say it's hard.
This is Pokemon Hard Mode. In addition, this is Established Run. That means I'm not allowed to use any moves that get same type attack bonus or stab. So, for example, my Venusaur that you just saw, it's not allowed to use something like Razor Leaf, a grass move that would get same type attack bonus. However, it is allowed to use grass moves that don't get same type attack bonus, like Leech Seed.
Yeah, so abusing that bitch.
I am.
And the other thing that Nathan decided is that's not enough rules to follow along on this damn run.
Yeah.
So he is, one, playing in set mode, as you can tell
Yep.
by our battles, and two, he is doing something called the Note Paddle Clause. Now that's by a famous Nuzlocker named Note Paddle. Some people also call it the Notepad Clause because he goes by both. But what that means is that he can only have a total of 6 Pokemon at any given time.
That's right.
So if he comes to any new routes or anything with 6 Pokemon, that route he can no longer catch anything on.
Yep.
So, and as you can tell, we are at almost the end of the game, so he is very low on being able to catch new things.
Yep.
So if God forbid something happens, like he keeps using his goddamn Butterfree in the gym with all of the rock types in it.
There are a substantial amount of fighting types.
Yes. But this is a, spoiler alert, I guess, ground gym.
No, it's not. He tells you. But, like, tell me Butterfree's a bad pick there.
Yeah, Butterfree's a good pick there.
Rocket-themed gym.
Yeah.
Giovanni is pretty squarely ground type, but the gym is full of poison and ground and Zubats.
Yeah, there are. And so, if you have any questions about what Pokemon Nathan's are using, you can actually see them over there on the left side of the screen, like I turned and alluded to earlier. Yep. That is a tracker that tracks in real time.
Yep.
But it's an app called PokeLink. Right now, it's set up to track Generation 1, 3 through 7. They're constantly working on it, trying to get the other functionality and more functions added to it.
Yes.
And there is a paid and free version. We completely understand that world sucks, and you might not have a lot of extra dollars to give.
Yes.
And that's completely understandable. But we definitely recommend them. If you could have a couple extra dollars to spare, head on over to patreon.com/PokeLink.
Well, bam!
And you can see and get the app for yourself.
Yep.
It's a pretty constant fight for us to stay up to date on it.
Yep. As a matter of fact, he's even hinted the update is coming.
Yeah. And there was an update like 2 weeks ago. No, he works on it pretty nonstop, and it's a great tool to
There's
use.
An update like 2 days ago.
Yeah, it's a great tool to use, and we love them very much. So support them if you are able to.
Please do.
Any other fun bits that we normally do that I haven't thought of?
I think that's good.
Yeah. Nate's a bitch, but
wow.
There you go, brothers fighting. That's a bit, I guess.
You know words hurt?
Yeah, I know. Something. The boomers always told me about sticks and stones breaking bones.
I'm just gonna do a safety save on my really real Nintendo 3DS.
Nintendo 3DS, Game Boy, PSP, my dad works at Nintendo.
Correct.
Uh-huh.
Fwahaha! This is my hideout. I plan to resurrect Team Rocket here. But you have caught me again. So be it. This time, I'm not holding back. Once more, you shall face Giovanni, the greatest trainer.
Self-proclaimed greatest trainer.
Giovanni wants to fight. I should surrender now, while he's preparing to fight.
Venusaur, that's right.
So we're gonna drink this right horn. And just kind of slowly wear him down here.
Yeah, Rhyhorn can't really do shit to Venusaur.
It can't.
He can do a little better.
Yeah, I'm still gonna leave seed though.
Yeah. That was a crit off of...
Just to preserve a plant in case things get bad. This seems like as good a time as any to swap to Disney.
That was guard spec. Interesting. Confused Ray.
His slash is going to crit most of the time.
Yeah.
It's like a 255 out of 256 chance or something like that.
Yeah, no. The way crits work and calculate in this game's a little silly. Dizzy, good job. And again, you can see that he's on set mode, so he doesn't get a free swap out here to.
Let's go with, because really what I'm doing is I want to plan around right on here.
Yeah.
Because this is as free a switch as I'm going to get.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Surf here. Quite came there.
Yeah, it's not quad super effective. Hey look, Pokemon's quad super effective on.
I wish Snorlax was as good in later gens as it was in 1.
It's pretty nasty in Gen 2, too.
Say, it's still pretty good.
It's fine in Gen 3. There's nothing wrong with it.
Well, there's nothing wrong with it in Gen 8.
Yeah.
I would say Gen 7 it was
Right.
real good because of how pinch berries work.
But nothing really beats Amnesia in Gen 1.
It's
And the combination of Amnesia and just the time,
yeah.
the HP pool to set up properly.
Yeah, I think
That's tempting.
I think Snorlax is definitely one of the biggest that gets, I don't want to say negatively affected, but definitely one of the biggest effects of splitting special into special attack, special defense.
I would say that's mostly indirectly due to how that affects Amnesia.
Yeah.
Not necessarily because of how it hurts his stats.
Yeah.
And I don't think Snorlax has a bad stat distribution at all. It's a great stat distribution, actually.
It definitely doesn't hyper beam as well anymore.
Oh, right.
Hey Nate, there's Rival Fight.
I forgot about that. Okay. That's fine. We'll beat him.
That's fine, Nathan says, is, again, like, this Pidgeot has a super effective move and they just didn't care.
I wanted to get a Leafeon off first.
Yeah. Like it's wing attack, which is not great in this.
Swap back to Eggplant here. And drink this boy again. And I'm going to do a safety heal here.
I'm gonna step out and be right back, boyos.
Bye.
I miss you already. This is not a great spot. Let's go. Put this boy to sleep real quick.
Is it nice in your established run to just be able to use a Butterfree exactly like you would normally?
Not horrible.
So Nathan is now at +6 special. That
I
was
guess-
not stabbed and resistant. It's still O-code. Almost O-code.
Alakazam.
Alakazam. Which is crazy. Because special.
Special split, or not special split,
Yeah.
means it has an absurd special defense.
Yeah. And a not stabbed surf still almost almost O-code. It might have been a roll even.
It's not impossible. Alright. I'm not sure if we're going to fight the Elite Four today or not. My gut tells me no. Let's see if we can get through.
If we don't tonight, we'll have to figure out what else we do next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's alright.
We'll be over
figure
pretty
it
quick.
out.
We can vamp.
It's not like we don't have other games that we can't play that night.
Yep.
Or we could do, like, there's other stuff in the game. There's, well,
Not
it is
really in red.
really much of a post game. We could go catch some birds.
Go
Find Mewtwo.
Yeah, we could go fight Mewtwo. We could go use strength on the truck and go fight Mew.
Beat the Elite Four 100 times to get Charcolt.
Well, you gotta get him to level 100 first, and then you
Yeah,
gotta.
you have to have your Charizard. The Charizard has to beat the Elite Four 100 times.
Mhm. At level 100. Your
So
dad.
we need to get the Charizard, which it's a little late to do.
Well, no,
So you
that's
get-
okay. All you have to do is when you get the HMO10 jump, you can jump over the barriers and get to the grass that's outside of Pallet Town and catch a Charmander there.
Yeah. Well, you can also get the other Pokegods first.
Yeah. Oh, including Peekaboo.
Yep.
Gotta catch Peekaboo.
Yeah. Somebody has no idea what the fuck we're talking about, and that's the best time.
Somebody obviously didn't have kindergarten in the 90s.
Motherfucker, what are you talking about? I was in 5th grade. These games had been out a decade, and we still talked about this shit.
Do I have anything that knows strength? Yes, Surflops knows strength.
Yeah, it's kind of what Surflops has been doing.
By the way, Surflops got one of the most busted moves in this game, Hyper Beam.
Yeah, he does.
For those uninitiated, there is a potential glitch, potential oversight in Gen 1 where if Hyper Beam scores a KO, it skips the recharge turn.
Oh, by the way,
I
Hyper
did not
Beam is...
know that.
Yes.
That is extremely busted.
Hyper Beam is also based off of your attack.
Yep.
And Gyarados has a lot of that.
It's no slouch.
Like, a lot.
For reference, Gyarados has 175 attack. I think the only thing that even comes close is Snorlax at 150.
That's also...
Dizzy is 115.
It's also one of the highest attacks. Those are 2 of the highest attacks in this game.
They're up there.
Like, you know, like Machoke will be higher, you know, or Machamp, excuse me, would be higher. Not a lot else. Yeah, there's no move deleter, so Eggplant's move that's gonna carry us is gonna be cut.
Let's be real, it's gonna be
It's gonna be Leech Life, Poison Powder, and then cut. God, that sprite is terrible, awful, and bad. Oh, got to see partial trapping in this game.
I'm basically heal it all off. He can partial trap me as long as he wants.
Yeah, Nathan's like, I
He
get
can
to
serve me the PP.
like I get to kill you without using the PP. Dope. Eggplant grew a level.
Yeah, it did.
So you're in Victory Road, right? The last big challenge before you get to the Elite Four, level 22 is too bad.
What I'm going to go ahead and try and do is I'm going to try and...
He's gonna try to get to the other side to get the healed
Yeah.
spot and the fly spot, and then come back in and fight the peoples.
One of these days I'm going to explain what I'm doing without Ian interrupting me.
Am I wrong? Tell me I'm wrong.
Okay, Ian. I got to pick here. Which item do I get?
The west item. Because normally I go north here,
Got me a rare candy.
and I don't, and I could not remember what the items were, so I'm like, fuck it, we'll go the one I normally wouldn't do.
So what's the north item, Ian?
I don't know. I
Oh.
couldn't remember what either of them were, but I know I normally choose the north item first.
Nathan remembers what the north item is.
What is it?
Memory serves the matchup.
Oh, so I got you the useful of the 2 items,
Hey, Max Revive can be sold.
so that you could buy healing items later. Yeah, that Marowak,
I'll admit there are probably better sprites in the game.
like, it's not the worst sprite.
These look better.
It's not the best sprite either. I don't actually remember what sound it makes, and because we live in the hell that we do, we're not using game audio for no reason at all.
Just have a boy that this boy's gonna handle. That's Moltres.
Where?
He's just sitting there vibing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mega kick! No.
I mean, to be fair, not many things on my team have feet.
That's a fair statement. Hey, your bat is in the single form that it has feet. Of all of the forms that it
could possibly take.
You do have the one
This
with
is the
feet.
one where it has feet.
All two of them.
Yep.
I know that there's a third form later.
I'm including the Crobat and the Zubat there.
I am a big fan of drawing Golbat without feet or wings.
Just the scream.
Just a screaming bean.
It's just
I like
a
to
face.
imagine he sounds a lot like the in the anime with what's the Ultra Beast dragon that just screams?
Oh,
Guzzlord.
Guzzlord.
Yeah.
Guzzlord, yeah. I like to think he shares that sound with Golbat.
Is that confirmed Golbat is an Ultra Beast?
I think it more confirms that they are the alternate realities of each other. Guzzlord is just a different universe's Golbat.
Hmm.
Well, one's a horrific otherworldly monster, and the other is Guzzlord.
Don't talk about my boy like that. You keep his fucking name out your mouth.
Ian, are you a big fan of Golbat?
I love the Golbat line. Does I have no need the nuclear option?
It actually already tried to learn it between streams.
I was pretty sure you were at the level. Things have gone so bad that you need the
fuck you button.
You need the I am no goes out to blaze of glory.
Blaze of glory.
Don't get caught by the peoples.
I already have strength active.
Yeah.
Did I just eat that thing?
What? No, you hit it and it
I hope I did.
advanced.
Alright, there it goes.
Yeah.
I was hoping I didn't accidentally delete it with the menu somehow.
That would be funny if you did.
I think you'd be able to reset it by,
Oh, I could just leave and come back.
Yeah.
yeah.
It would be hilarious that's what you did.
It would be great if you found a brand new bug that nobody had seen before yet.
That fish did.
What?
There was a... remember Fish Plays Pokemon?
Yeah.
It was actually... It has to do with strike puzzles, actually. It found a way to duplicate strength boulders. In the... it was playing Pokemon Sapphire, and it was in the Underground Sea Cave.
I was
you
going
have
to
to
say
go
that
to
was in Gen 3, though.
Yeah. But... It wouldn't be the first time that a streamer had randomly discovered a
glitch.
and that one just happened to be a beta. Fish. A beta fish, not like a...
I was gonna let you suffer there.
I'm gonna sell Explosion Man.
You sell Mega Kick too.
Uh,
The only person that could know it was Pip Pip Pip, and that killed Pip Pip Pip.
I'm gonna hang on to it for... Actually, no, I'm gonna sell it because I can go rebuy it.
I was gonna say, you can just go get it. Okay, now it's time to go through your items.
I'm gonna go back and beat the trainers first. I just wanted to get through and
Have a heal zone.
have an easy way to get back here.
Have a zone of heal.
I always hate to use this maze here. If I want to, I can totally just real easy slip on back. Which, for a game this old, having like that kind of forethought where to make it a lot easier for people to going backwards to get back through, I think it was actually pretty smart.
Yeah.
Just in case, I'm gonna go ahead and knock that one. Do a cheeky little boot there. Oh, Kingler. Let's put up on the screen.
Big, meaty claws. Yeah, this is kind of a scary mon for you to fight right now. Also, Tentacruel looks like he's about to fucking fight.
I think he looks like the new Bernie meme that's going around. Just put a lawn chair behind him.
This is the closest to Squidward Tentacruel has ever looked.
Oh, abso-fucking-lutely. SpongeBob. Big.
He is a chonker in this game.
Big.
He's so thick.
Large.
He is Jumbo McLarge huge.
Big. I wasn't expecting that.
How do you think,
Like, it,
I mean,
and like,
Charizard and Venusaur look so cool in their Gen 1 sprites, and
Eh. There's room for improvement.
well, yeah. I'm not saying perfect. I'm saying compare them to Blastoise.
I think of the three, Blastoise looks the coolest, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
big.
Yeah, and that's the thing is the thing you want them to immediately convey is these are big old monsters you're suddenly controlling, and you raise that little tiny turtle into a giant monster. You are the Beastmaster. That's the fantasy they're selling you on.
Not only is he big, he is round. So round.
So round. Sound. Is that something? Is that anything?
I don't fucking know, man. So, it's implied that she's beaten, like, all 8 gyms, right? Because you have to beat all 8 gyms to get here. Like, that's what...
Yeah, like the
that's,
badge gates and
yeah.
stuff.
You're telling me... Ooh, shit. I will be right back, but I'm going to finish this thought. So you're telling me that Bellsprout, Weeping Bell, Victory Bell Lady managed to do it?
I mean, you can swap your team around before you go up here.
I guess.
Yeah, she might just be training.
Yeah. But if you couldn't tell, that guy's the water type trainer, that guy's the grass type. She's the grass type trainer.
But, like... Victory Bell, Weeping Bell, Bellsprout. That's the team. That's the squad. It's gonna do it all.
I'm not fucking with those Grabblers and Geodudes.
They fucking explode!
They'll go boom. I am currently in my casual playthrough of Yellow in... I'll show you when I get back there. In my casual playthrough of Yellow, I am currently in this room running around and killing Geodudes and Growlers and Golems and Onyxes and Golbats. It is a tad tedious. I'm hoping things will go a little bit more quickly with the super speed up button. Crunchy has allergies, Rusty. So we have to give him allergy pills. And that's what Ian's doing right now.
I bet he loves that.
He likes to, when we cover them in cheese.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna risk confused right here.
Did it go badly?
No, it went fine.
Good.
Let's put this baby to bed. I said go to sleep.
Go the fuck to sleep.
We're gonna swap the eggplant. Yeah, time to revive.
Those are super useful for your run.
Oh yeah.
They're great for turning into cold, hard cash.
Final tile. So I exit to the left, or
Exit to the right.
I exit to the right, but come out the south.
Yeah, I imagine
Don't worry
there's just
about
like a little atrium
It's like
that doesn't...
it's like Paradox Cave and Link to the Past. Like, there's no way that it works. Like how it's laid out versus how Death Mountain is, but
It's a video game.
Don't question it.
It's a video game.
so when we give Crunchy his pills,
Normally, when we give him a snack, he'll either go run and jump on the couch, or he'll go and eat in my fucking bed. Those are the two spots that he eats snacks at.
He
Almost
doesn't eat
exclusively.
it in your normal bed?
Yeah.
Yes.
What'd you say to me, you little shit? I can actually hear you now. But so when I give him his cheesy pills, I make him stay and eat them in front of me. He's pretty good about it. Also,
So you don't get cheese in your fucking bed?
I see the joke that was made. Yeah, you're gonna want to do that a couple of times, Nathan.
the way back to sell that revive and never did.
Well, don't worry, you can go and heal Disney too. Ooh,
Wild Venom off here? I didn't know that.
I didn't know that in this game, Venomoth was purple.
It's purple, baby!
Say purple.
Maybe where they got ATB. In Twitch Plays Pokemon.
Almost certainly. All-terrain Venomoth! I will be, again, right there.
I miss you already.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Hand me my phone.
So what level are you shooting for your team to be?
I want to say they want you to be around 65 or so. I probably don't need to go that high. We'll see where I'm at once I beat all these trainers. Probably 55 or so. I think if I really wanted to, I could probably beat them now, just because Snorlax is that busted.
Yeah.
But watching me hit Amnesia 3 times and then hit a bunch of serves sounds real boring. So I want to at least give other people a chance to do they thing.
I can dig it.
I do not want to be you. Let's go start flops here. You paralyze my flops.
Nathan, don't talk about your flops on stream. TOS.
Still never sold that max revive. But yeah, if I want to joke, you totally go battle Moltres right now.
You could get some Toit XP.
Maybe. We'll see. Maybe that's what we do to get ready as we go fight all the birds. No, because I want to preserve the power plant and Rural Islands in case I have an accident. Put you to bed. Get you some lasers. Golduck, huh? Golduck.
Man, I remember when I thought Golduck was good.
Last time I remember it being relevant competitively was in pre-bank Sun and Moon OU. Because it was one of the better abusers of Swift Swim. We'll put up a light screen here. TM17 Wait. Submission. Teach that to Ben.
Is there something that wants submission?
The only thing on my team that could learn it was Pip Pip.
You talking Mega Cave?
No, submission.
Not be...
Which, I mean, that would allow it to get past rock types, but Surf already does that.
Yeah. And Surf doesn't hurt you.
Fair and valid.
And jugglers really do like to swap out their Pokemons.
Nathan,
What's that?
they're jugglers. What do jugglers do?
Do they juggle?
No, they don't file their taxes because they're fucking heathens. I don't know. I'm just trying to make something up there.
How'd it go?
Okay, then.
Not fucking well. You were there. You heard.
So, Ian,
Yeah.
let's say you are being attacked
Mm-hmm.
by a circus troupe.
Mm-hmm.
How do you survive?
I don't know how, Nathan.
You go for the juggler.
God, I was hoping that wouldn't be the answer because that was the most stupid. I was really hoping that you would be better than that. That you would not take the low-hanging fruit there.
Nope! That was like a boy's life joke
Yeah.
from like 15, 20 years ago. So, Rusty, I have a question for you. Rusty?
What?
Rusty,
Mm-hmm.
I have a question for you.
I have an answer. Let's see if they match.
For the uninitiated, all three of us were avid Boy Scouts back in the day. As a matter of fact, that's more or less how we all met. Except for I met him shortly after he was born, what with him being my brother and such.
Fair.
But were you ever subscribed to Boys Life magazine?
I was.
Me too. So did you ever write to the magazine?
I did not.
Aw,
I think I sent an email once.
really?
Mm-hmm.
You see, I wrote that. You see, back in the day, you actually had to write letters and like put a stamp on them and stuff to like send messages long distances. So I did actually write to Boys Life magazine. I don't remember what I wrote, but I submitted jokes on at least 2 or 3 occasions, and I vaguely remember one of them getting in. I don't remember what the joke was. And then I also wrote to Pedro, who was the mascot of Boys Life magazine. He's a donkey.
He's a burro.
He's a burro. And I was trying to remember. The story behind him, because was that he was a donkey who moved the mail at Philmont.
Philmont, yes.
Yeah. And so I asked him about his old job, and he talked about it. And I was very happy that I got in the magazine.
What I wrote about is they had a little section that talked about, I don't remember what it's called anymore. One of you probably do. The section where the heroic whatevers, where
the Scouts in Action.
yeah, Scouts in Action.
Yeah. And they tell a story of where
A scout used their
skills that they acquired to save somebody.
save somebody, help in a dangerous situation, dangerous. And one of my best friends, growing up, we moved across town when I was, going into the 3rd grade.
Yeah.
So we moved across town, and so my parents and my best friend's parent, we came to an agreement. So once a month I would have sleepover, and every other month it would alternate his house and our house. When we were at his house, what we think happened is, and we were never really able to confirm it. There was like one of the little like drainage ditches right by his house, and we were kind of playing around there, and suddenly it's on fire over there, and
yeah, as it's wont to do.
and we see a dark shape quickly moving off, and so I ran in to go. So we looked at each other. I said, I'm gonna go tell your mom. You go see if you can see where that guy ran off to. And so I went in and told his mom and all. And I wrote, and we called the fire department. This was back before. I don't want to say before cell phones, but definitely neither of us had cell phones.
Yeah, this was definitely before cell phones were like a commercially available product.
This would have been...
That would have been like 2003 or so.
Yeah, like 2003 or 2004.
Yeah.
And so,
that definitely before like average Joe would have had a cell phone.
Yeah, like I'm literally like in the 3rd grade. And so we go in. His mom calls the fire department, and so there wasn't really like any like way that like we could get water over there. So Braden and I rushed to start going tell neighbors because we're children and we can go run and do that. And so fire department gets called and all of that. And so I wrote about that story, and I don't think I ever made it in.
Well, generally on those stories, they wanted the kid to have gotten a medal or something.
Yeah. No, and so what we think happened is some teenager was smoking or whatever, and threw their cigarette butt out, and it being dry and Oklahoma, all of that grass that was over there just caught fire. And the next several months that I was over there, there was a big, probably 40 or 50 foot patch of that of the grass along that drainage ditch that was just kind of blackened and scarred over. And I used to tell my friends that I helped save a neighborhood, which is not true at all. But
it's a fun story to tell.
It's a fun story to tell.
I used to on the matter of stories that I kind of believed but weren't true at all. I used to tell everybody that I had punched a wolf, but it was probably just a dog. But we were doing a wilderness survival camp out, which is where we the way our troop did it was each buddy pair gets a like a tarp, 2 ropes, and a hiking staff, or similar length and size piece of wood, and you go make a shelter yourself and sleep in it overnight, which is a lot of fun, especially since it's like your first time to go camping without direct adult supervision. Like,
those wilderness survival campouts are fun.
there,
I've done them.
Yeah,
but they're not right there.
Yeah, like they're within normally like they're within like a sight line of your little spots, or very very close.
Yeah.
But my friend Chris decided to bring a bottle of lemonade into the tent with us, and I found out, and I was like, "You have to get rid of that right now, obviously, because I don't want
to make friends late at night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have one friend, and it's you. I do not want more friends in here. And to answer your question, yes, it is that Chris.
I know that, Chris.
And he argued with me, and I finally just gave up and went to sleep. And then woke up in the middle of the night, and there was something like standing on me, and I thought Chris was like digging around to get something, because it's a really small space.
Yeah.
Because it was one we had made ourselves with a little tarp.
Yeah.
And I thought Chris was like digging around looking for something, and so I kind of like punched him off of me, but what I punched was furry and yelped. And so I assumed, because I was a young man, that it was a wolf, but it was almost certainly just like a stray dog.
Could have been a coyote.
Yeah.
It could have been a wolf or a coyote. It could have been. It probably wasn't.
I don't know if there are any wolves native to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Coyotes, definitely.
And wolves are like way bigger than you think they are.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Like, so our dog Crunchy is 60 pounds. We know that because...
We took him to the vet here recently.
Yeah. And no, wolves are big.
They ain't small.
No, I love those wilderness survival camps. By the time... So we used to, many, many, many moons ago, we were all in the same Boy Scout troop, and then Nathan and I, because our parents got different jobs and all, and we moved towns, and that's the version of that story I'm going to say. We moved away, and so we had a different troop at that point, and we had similar wilderness survival camps because they're not all that different. But ours, we still got the rope in the tarp, but they didn't give us any sticks, and we got they let us have I think it was 10 items.
The first couple we did is they just said you're allowed to bring X number of items with you. You have to show them to us before you take them.
And by the time you, but the second and third time, that you had done it, because we did it through, a bunch of years in a row. Once we'd gotten the merit badge and all, they're like, all right, you help us kind of wrangle the younger kids, but here's your tarp and rope. Go
have fun.
Go have fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, later on, Chris and I, in later years, actually took an ice chest with filet mignons up there.
Yeah.
After we had gotten the badge.
Yeah. And those were some of my favorite camps.
Yeah. I remember on one of the ones I first went out with you, Rusty, a person who will only be identified as Nick threw an entire magnesium block into his fire, and I can still see it.
Yeah. So magnesium burns really, really bright.
It does.
And very big.
The very, very funny thing about that was the next morning, another kid, Jake, was convinced that he had been visited by aliens in the night because he had seen a very, very bright light over the ridge.
One of my favorites is this was my later years in Scouts. Nathan was already at college at that point, and one of our and a bunch of the people in our troop at that point were in the marching band in the area, and so they had a home football game, and then came late at night. So one of the guys was so I set up a two person camp on my own, and just kind of waited for them for him to get there. But I didn't wake up when he got there, and so I wake up 7 o'clock in the morning, and start to get out of
You'll
my...
see there's a glitch there
Yeah.
on our tracker where it is having a hard time knowing what to do with all of Snorlax's HP.
Yeah.
So it is displaying all of it.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll fix itself if I do that.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe not.
listen. It's sometimes it's a feature, not a bug.
Let's do
Do one of you guys want to clip that so we can send it to Jesse?
Yeah, I'll flip it. I've got it.
Well, he's about to come up with a new update anyway, so I wouldn't worry about it.
But anyway, so I get out, like, sun's starting to rise. It's or it's really before dawn. I get up, start messing with my fire. Get it going again. To get it going again, and I look to my, I get out, and immediately, like, at just around the fire is, I'm just gonna call him Aaron,
Yeah.
and he's just, like, in his, just, like, this curled up ball of a sleeping bag, just there by the fire, and I'm like,
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
yeah. And I just kind of hear a groan, and I'm like, I will take care of breakfast, buddy. You don't worry about it. But I just get out, and then there's just this ball of Aaron there, this ball of a child. I'm just like, you had a long night, buddy. And he's like, mm-hmm. But like it was like 20 degrees that night or whatever, because we always did it in December.
Yeah.
Because that's the time to do wilderness survival.
It literally is. It's the best.
Yeah. No, if you don't do cold wilderness survival, you're not doing wilderness survival right. And that's the gospel truth. But yeah, I'm just like, hey buddy, how you doing?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just, I got out and I'm like, oh hey bud, you doing alright? You alive there?
He would have had a better night if he'd stayed in the tent.
I know, but
Rusty, when have you ever known a 14-year-old child to make good decisions?
and then
Roll.
And then the last time I did it, one of the other band guys, his name's Dan, he and I stayed, we're camping, and so we got up, so that time, like, he either didn't go or they didn't have a band, at a tournament or a football game that night, so they came that night, so we got up the next morning, and he just starts pulling out a coffee pot that's probably twice or three times as old as our combined ages at that point. And I'm like, I'm not surprised, Dan. He's like, don't worry, I got this. And I'm not normally a coffee drinker. Nathan and Rusty can both attest to that. But no, that was probably the best cup of instant coffee I've ever had.
Everything tastes better when you're camping.
Yeah. Stuff hits different when you're camping.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason that I still think about the steaks that Rusty and I have made together.
Well, it's the veneer of desperation really adds a certain je ne sais quoi.
One of the years they were very insistent that we make, some of the adults had gotten in their head, Jeff had gotten in his head, that on a wilderness survival campout we had to make bacon and eggs in a sack.
I remember when they were kind of getting such
You
a
can
point.
do that.
Yeah, you can do that, but I'm like, I already have this merit badge. No, I'm gonna cook it the way I want to cook it. And they're like, but you can't do that. I'm like, fucking watch me. Or
That's exactly what you said to him.
Fucking watch me. Little 12-year-old Ian. It's like, fucking watch me.
It's
My favorite wilderness survival meal was always the orange that you cut in half, hollow out, eat, and then you crack the egg into it and then fry the egg.
That's your favorite?
Just I always really appreciated the ingenuity of it.
And the egg.
no. So what I did is I used the hot rock.
Yeah.
So it's literally you get your fire going, you get a good bed of coals, you put a rock on those coals.
You fry your egg like it's a griddle.
Yeah, you literally use the rock as your skillet. What I did is I actually started with the bacon and kind of made myself a little egg hole and cracked the egg into that.
Yeah.
And
It is a wonder none of us ever got salmonella.
I'm a good cook, Nathan. Would I say 15-year-old Ian was as experienced of a cook as me now?
Like I said, it is a wonder none of us ever got salmonella.
Well, at the time, you know, we were young men, and had the immune system to take a not quite fully done egg once. By the way, make sure you fully cook eggs. Eggs can be dangerous. This is us saying, make sure your eggs are cooked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially Americans.
Yeah.
Because we do stupid things with our...
That's right. Make sure your American is cooked before you eat them. Who knows where that thing's been? Okay. So I had a question earlier that I wanted to ask Rusty. Just to keep this conversation moving. We briefly touched on Ian's story of...
Heroism?
His heroism. So I wanted to ask you, Rusty, have you ever had to call 911?
Oh, it's fixed now.
It has something to do with it, healing.
Yeah.
I've noticed it keeps popping up when I go to heal.
Yeah.
So.
No, I don't think I have ever had to call 911.
Nathan has.
I've had to call 911 a number of times.
Yes, you have.
Weren't they all to save Ian because he keeps on...
Most of them have been to save Ian.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
There was a point where we were little where Ian just at one point stopped breathing, and so I got to call 911 while Mom did CPR.
Yeah.
And I got to stand in front of the house and guide them in. And as a reward, Mom got me a Gohan action figure that I almost immediately broke. I was like 7 at the time.
I remember the Goku action figure that we had. That was the coolest fucking action figure we ever had.
Yeah. But like the Gohan had like a key blast like stuck to his hand.
And you broke that off?
Well, no, and like it would like light up and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh yeah, it was super duper cool. I eventually fixed it.
I think I remember that kind of.
Yeah.
Now that you say it.
It was dope. And at one point, Ian was climbing up a dresser and it fell on him.
Again, I was like 2, not even.
Yeah, he was like climbing up the front dresser like that. I don't think it was that specific
It
dresser.
wasn't.
It was the colorful one.
Yeah.
He was just like climbing up the knobs.
And it fell and knocked me the fuck out.
You were a 2-year-old having been crushed by a dresser. And so, yeah, you were unconscious, and I got to call 911 for that, too. Again, while our mother, the nurse, was tending to him.
She was not a nurse at this point.
Yes. But she'd still had experience in the medical field.
Yeah.
And that was fun. I got to call 911 not only to rescue Ian, but also myself and my father, on a. This was much later. I was I was in high school.
Yeah, you were driving.
Yeah, like 17. We were dropping a vehicle off to a buddy of Dad's to get it repaired, and it was a very dark and stormy night. And the road we normally took, because he was like about half an hour away from our house, about an hour away from our house, on the other side of the lake. So we got to the road we normally took was flooded out, and I said, "Dad, there's running water here. You probably shouldn't drive. We probably shouldn't drive it." And he insisted that I drive through anyway. And so at some point, I was actually in our old Ford Bronco. That was my first car. Started to get lifted and carried away. So he kind of scrambled over me to take the wheel, and I got thrown into the back seat, and I'm calling 911. Well, of course, this is in the middle of the woods, so we have no cell phone reception. So we are getting carried away by the water, and I have dialed 911 like 10 or 15 times at that point, and it's just nothing is happening because we're in the middle of the woods, far away from any sign of civilization. So that is the time that I have dialed 911 and it didn't do anything. Eventually, Dad kind of got us drifted over to somebody's driveway, and we kind of got up there, and we were able to go back the way we came.
But it killed the vehicle.
It killed the vehicle until we got it restarted.
Yeah. But it took a long time.
Yes.
And we had to... So we had to, like, push it up an incline.
Yeah.
So Nathan and I are...
Yeah, we went up to a lady's house in, like, 10 o'clock at night. Horrible, dark, rainy, and stormy out. This lady was scared to death. She was, like, a 60-year-old woman with 3 giant men coming out of the darkness in the middle of the rain onto her porch. And she's like, "Hey, can we borrow your phone, please?" And she, like, terrifiedly passed it through her screen door. It was great. Loved every second of it.
Well, so the best part of this night is once we got it, so Nathan and I had to push it up this fucking embankment, and it's a like a 92 GMC, not GMC, Ford Bronco. Just go Google that.
Yep.
It's a giant piece of fucking steel, and
I remember having to push it around. It was not fun.
And so Nathan and I are pushing it. Then we get to the incline, and I lose my shit because Nathan at that point, especially around me, tried not to curse. He was a good boy in that, but there were some words that came out, and I just lost it. I started laughing. I felt really bad. To say.
I am not teaching him Hyperbeam.
Yeah. But no, just like we instantly get to the hill, and then I hear
impact anyway.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I hear "son of a bitch" and other words, and I just like.
Yep.
So,
Well, and the frustrating part was we were in a situation that I was very like clearly could have been avoided.
but no, our father was our father.
And I was even like, okay, there's running water over here. You're not supposed to drive over running water here. I don't think we should do this. And he's like, go through. I said, do you want to drive instead of me? He's like, go through. And so every avenue at that point to me was cut off.
Yeah.
That was particularly frustrating aspect of it.
And that's honestly that's the reason the reason I felt bad is because I knew Nathan was pissed off, and
Well, just, you get the sense of helplessness.
yeah, like we were pushing this up in the rain because of circumstances that we should have avoided, but
It was like pouring rain
Yeah.
too.
and I just felt bad about Because Nathan and I were the ones pushing.
Yeah.
I think Dad was like, you know.
Other than that, the
Not
only
that
times I've ever had to call 911 was having cops help me repo my cars for my job.
The only times I've actually called 911 are times when like I think I've only done it like 2 or 3 times. Mostly it's been like coming back from when I worked in Tulsa. You know, like driving back on Friday nights. I think like I've called the cops and said, hey, there's a red GMC.
Yeah, I've done a couple of those. Where,
Like,
somebody like
you know, he's like
swerving back and forth a bunch.
yeah.
That happens a lot out here.
Yeah, like he's swerving back, like he's cutting people off, you know, like past, like
Like clearly, like teenagers like
yeah,
trying to screw with people.
yeah, and I'm like, yeah, dude, I don't have like the time and all to deal with this.
You know, guys, I really do hate to kind of cut us off a little bit early again, but I really don't think this is going to make for particularly great TV, just watching me grind through here. And I don't think I'm going to be able to finish by the time we hit the normal time. So I think we're just going to go ahead and cut it right here. And then we'll do the Elite Four and maybe some like
Other stuff.
legendary fights or something next week. So if you guys don't mind joining us tomorrow,
You will actually do my stream.
yes.
Yeah.
Rusty, we did have a couple of technical issues getting Rusty's stream set up yesterday, but we should be good to go for tomorrow. So we're going to do Rusty's Mono Ghost run of Pokemon Shield tomorrow. So
And
Rusty will
probably,
actually have the reins.
subsequent Thursdays.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll
And,
probably just make it our Thursday stream until
Yeah.
it's.
And then on a Friday, I will be coming back with my blind, not blind, but my white to randomized Nuzlocke.
Which will be fun.
Yeah.
And then feel free to join us on Sunday for Monster Hunter with Jaybird.
If any of that sounds interesting, pop on by.
Do it.
Bye.
You won't regret it.